They have a big offensive line. They do. They're very disciplined in the offensive line. They step where they're supposed to step. They go where they're supposed to go. But they got off schedule last week. The first play of the game was an interception, and it wasn't the quarterback's fault. It went through the receiver's hands, and the defender intercepted the ball, and then they jumped up on them really quick. So I think they got off schedule last week and trying to do some things that they would like to have gotten accomplished. I don't think they would throw the ball that much if they could have gotten their run game going. But anytime you get behind really early in the ball game, your game plan pretty much goes out of the window because you're scratching and fighting and reaching and trying to find things to work for your program. So I think we'll see a different game plan from those guys. But, nevertheless, you got to be ready for what they showed on film. But I know it's going to be a good ball club, and the Southern Heritage Classic is always a dogfight because it's Tennessee State and Jackson State. So we're going to come in there ready.
Absolutely. Wrapping up with Rod Reed, head football coach of the Tennessee State University Tigers. The Tigers and Jackson State are in action in the 27th annual Southern Heritage Classic going down in Memphis, Tennessee. Before I let you go, Coach, now I just need to get your honest opinion on something. I've had you on the show maybe 15 times since I've been doing this, and you're always very honest with me. Now, last week, we kicked the show off. Well, we kicked the fourth season of the HBCU report off, talking with John Grant Jr., who is the executive director of the Celebration Bowl, and we also we hold on now, you know where I'm going, but hold on. We talked with Terry Sims from Bethune-Cookman. And we talked with Fred McNair of Alcorn State. Okay, now of course everybody was excited last year about the Celebration Bowl. The crowning of the outright HBCU champion on the FCS level. Now, in talking to Coach Sims, they ended up on the outside looking in, so to speak, because of the MEAC situation, that they have this uneven number of teams in the conference, and they can't seem to find that 12th team to make things official so that they can actually have a championship game. So let me ask you this, Coach. Let me just ask you this. Now, of course, ESPN is over this Celebration Bowl thing. But if they came to you guys, right? If they came to the powers that be, because I know this might be above your pay grade, but if they came to the powers that be with the right deal, from the MEAC and from ESPN, where maybe you could still play, half of your schedule in the OVC and half of it in the MEAC, just so that they could have, a 12th team. Do you think this is something that the people of Tennessee State might be interested in? Because I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work, Coach.
Well, you said it early on in your pitch right there. That's way above my pay grade. But we're going to enjoy our schedule this year. We've had one SWAC team. We're going to have another one this week, and then the week after we're going down and play Bethune, head to head down there. So I guess that would be our bid to put us in contention. As long as one of those teams run the table. And if we can win all three games, maybe we'll get an invite or something. How about that?
I mean, we got to figure out a way to get y'all in there, man. Because you do realize, you all have an impeccable record against the other HBCU teams. I think
right.
the last loss came to Bama State, and that was like a thunderstorm game. So it's like, I'm going to figure out a way to make this work for you, Coach. Because I like you, man. I like you. He is Rod Reed, head football coach of the Tennessee State University Tigers. Again, the Tigers in action this weekend, the 27th annual Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis against Jackson State University. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on the show again, and good luck this weekend. And we look forward to talking to you down the road this season.
All right, thanks for having me. Go Big Blue.
Great stuff right there from Coach Reed. Always glad to have him on the show. Now, here's my thing, and I've been saying this, and of course last week we had John Grant, the executive director of the Celebration Bowl. I almost said the HBCU report. I'm the executive director of the HBCU report. Don't get it twisted. But we had John Grant, the executive director of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on last week, and we were talking about, the game and how the MEAC conference isn't able to have an outright champion because they can't have a championship game because of the uneven numbers. But see, this week I've been thinking, as I was doing some research as I was getting ready for Coach Reed this week, here's the thing. Tennessee State should have the opportunity to possibly be like Notre Dame an independent that has the opportunity of playing for the national championship. I mean, because let's be real, Tennessee State is a HBCU. It is one of the more storied HBCUs. The football program is also one of the more storied football programs in the world, especially when you start talking about Big John Merritt and now a guy like Rod Reed. All right, they play in the Ohio Valley Conference. That's the only conundrum. Now, here's my thing. Just like I mentioned to Coach Reed, maybe they could get a half Ohio Valley schedule and maybe a half MEAC or a half just HBCU schedule that will qualify them. And we're going to figure this thing out because John Grant will be joining the show in the next few weeks. Maybe not next week, but in the next few weeks, he will definitely be joining the show again. And I'm just going to propose it because there's no way that Tennessee State should not be eligible for the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. There's just no way. Since 2010, Tennessee State's record versus the SWAC and the MEAC combined is 15-3. As you just heard me say to Coach Reed, it's impeccable. It's impregnable. 15-3. I don't know why you wouldn't want them in the conversation. I don't know, but we're definitely gonna petition this thing and talk to the powers that be to see if there's any way, because ultimately we're trying to just get good football, right? Ultimately. All right. Yeah, man. We'll talk about that. Coming up, we will talk with Dan Land. He is the head football coach of the Albany State Rams. The Rams in action this weekend. It is the third annual Whitewater Classic being played in Phoenix City, Alabama today versus Willie Slater's Tuskegee University Golden Tigers, the ever tough Tigers. Boy, they got a good program down there in Tuskegee. And we'll talk with Albany State Coach Dan Land coming up. This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com. Don't forget, follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HBCU Report.
It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. Happy Saturday morning to you and yours. It's a beautiful day. Well, I don't know about where you are, but where I am here in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a great day. Immediately following this show, I'm going to get out, go to Stone Mountain, get me a great run in. That's how I like to start my weekends off. Well, my new way of starting the weekends off is with you right here on the HBCU Report at 8 o'clock every Saturday morning, and then follow it by my 5-mile run up the Stone Mountain. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com, your source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. Log on to SportsNewsAndBrews.com right now. And coming up today, we have another classic, the third annual Whitewater Classic being played in Phoenix City, Alabama, a 5 o'clock kickoff between Tuskegee and Albany State. And right now we're being joined on the line by Albany State second-year head football coach Dan Land. First of all, Coach, welcome back to the HBCU Report.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, man. So, as I just mentioned, this is your second year as head coach at Albany State. How did the learning process from last year prepare you for this season?
Well, I tell you what you learn more is that you learn more about your players. You get more time with your players from one year to the next year. So as you learn them, you make your team better by being able to put them in the position, and you know the things they can and what they cannot do.
Now, last season, your team finished the season with a 6-4 overall record, but a perfect record in the SIAC at 4-0. What was the focus during the offseason in order to maintain the success that the team has had over the last few years?
Well, our main focus this year is going into the season is to finish. Some of the games last year we did finish. We got to play a complete 4 quarters. So if we do that, I think we'll give ourselves an opportunity to win more games.
Absolutely. This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com. For the latest in sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beer, check out SportsNewsandBrews.com. And coming up this weekend, the 3rd annual Whitewater Classic, Phoenix City, Alabama, sees Albany State and Tuskegee go head-to-head. Now, the Golden Rams, Coach, dropped the season opener to Valdosta State 16-7. What were some of the positives that you took away from the game?
Well, what it is just that defense played very well. The positive was that my guys played with a lot of energy. And just in the second half, we came out and we basically made too many mistakes. What I mean by make too many mistakes is that we turned the ball over several times, and every time we turned the ball over, all except one time, Valdosta State scored. So we learned that we got to make sure when we come out the second half, we can't relax, and we just got to go and finish what we started.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. Since the last time we talked, Albany State actually went through a merger with another university there in the city. Has that impacted the athletic program or the football program in any way?
Well, we haven't completed the merger yet, but some way it probably will, but right now it really hadn't. But in the near future, I'm quite sure it will. But it should impact in a way where it's going to be positive.
Okay.
You get more students and more recognition to the university, and then you'll be able to recruit a little bit more. So I think for both sides, it's going to be good.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Now, let's talk about the actual team, Coach. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, what can you tell our listening audience about this quarterback, Caleb Edmonds, who's a special guy?
Well, Caleb's a very smart quarterback. Caleb, sometimes he could beat you with his arm and he could beat you with his legs. He had a real good game last week. It's just that he made some mental errors where he threw some interceptions, but they wasn't all his fault. It was a lot of time the wide receiver twice. The wide receiver had the hands on the ball was in their chest and bounced out and ended up getting the interception. But the other 2 times, he was trying to force the ball to make something happen. So Caleb's a very smart guy with a lot of energy, and he gives us the spark, and he makes the offense go.
Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I know your defense is led by our SIAC defensive lineman Grover Stewart. Who are some of the other defensive guys football fans should be on the lookout for as we get ready for the 3rd annual Whitewater Classic?
Well, we got Nick Scott, number 1, our strong safety. We have Shingleton with our linebacker, number 7. We have another defensive end. We're transferred in from Florida International. So we have a couple guys that transferred in, going to be able to help us out a lot on the defense. And we're looking for some good things from those guys. Also, we got Zane Fields on the other side as one of our good pass rushers. So we got some things going on, and we're hoping that they're just going to get better as the season go along. All
right. Now, coming up this weekend, your team faces Willie Slater's Tuskegee Golden Tigers. Now the Tigers actually upended you guys last season, and the head-to-head matchup, they actually hold the lead in the head-to-head matchup. But Tuskegee is coming off of last weekend's 36-13 matchup over Clark Atlanta. As you head into the 3rd annual Whitewater Classic, what are some of the things that concern you versus Tuskegee?
Well, not a lot of things concern me in dealing with Tuskegee. More things concern me in dealing with Albany State University.
Okay.
What we need to do, we need to be able to handle the things that we can handle and make ourselves better. We saw the things that we did last week, offense, defense, and special teams, that we went and made the correction on. And all we got to do is put that in place. And we concentrate on what we're supposed to do. I think everything else will take care of itself. We concentrate a little bit too much on Tuskegee, on what they're doing, how they're doing, and all that. Sometimes you lose focus, and we just need to make sure we do the things that we do best, that Albany State offense, defense, and special teams.
This is the HBCU Report. Rob Calloway being joined on the line right now by Dan Land. He is the head football coach of the Albany State Golden Rams. They are in action this weekend versus